Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we have to fix a laptop that is coming from a computer shop around here. Is an Acer TravelMate B118 series. Now the problem with this laptop is that it's not starting. So if we plug in the power, okay, if I press the power button, it takes about 90 milliamps, it goes to 190, 100. Okay, nothing. So when the current is jumping up and down, usually is one of the power supplies is in short circuit. So let's disassemble everything. I mean, it's missing all the screws. Some of the screws are not even the right one. You see this one? This is not a proper screw for this. It's missing this screw, it's missing the hard drive. What else? We have no screw in here, we have a screw in here, which I lost. No, I didn't here. And I have another one in here. And that's it, it's coming out. Okay. So the battery, first of all, is not even plugged in. Let's plug in the battery, see what is happening. Let's see why they left the battery out. Okay, so the laptop is charging 1.2 amps. Let's remove this shield. Let's remove the battery first. And let's remove this shield, right? Where is the okay, this one. Okay, let's remove this heatsink from here. Okay, now we can put all this aside. Okay, so let's check the power supplies. Let's check the coils first. So we put one probe on the ground. Let's see this one. 50 kilo ohms. 5 mega ohms. 9 mega ohms. 38 ohms. This is probably the CPU one. 41 ohms. 190 ohms. Can we check this one? 200. Okay. So the coils are fine. Let's remove all these cables, right? Maybe okay, let's remove the battery. Okay. And now let's disconnect the keyboard. Let's disconnect everything except the power button. Okay, let's take out this one as well. Let's take out the speakers as well. Okay. Let's take out the Wi-Fi as well. Okay. And let's take out the screen as well. Right? We don't need it because we're gonna check the current, and so plug in the power and nothing happens. That's 0 amps. Pressing the power button, 80 milliamps. Now let's see if anything is getting hot. I don't feel any heat. Let's bring the thermal camera. Let's remove this. Let's see what is taking this 80 milliamps. It's very little current, but maybe we are lucky and we see something. No, this is just the shield. So let's plug in the power button, and nothing so far. Okay, and let's press the power button and let's see. Oh man, this is the CPU. You see the corner of the CPU. This is not good news. We have this chip in here. Which one is it? This one. This one. Okay, let's put a little bit of tape in there so we know which way to look after. And we have another hot point in here. Let's put a little bit of tape in here, see what is this. So this is 40.7, CPU is 29, and this chip is 36. So let's see. Let's remove the power cable and let's see. If it's the CPU, then it's game over. So this. Now this is some I think this is some protection for something, maybe for the, yeah, I think this is the protection for the M2 drive. You see the input and the, well, you can't see. Okay, so this is the chip that it was getting warm. So this looks like some kind of a protection chip, right? You see we have in here an input pin and we have an output pin in here. And this goes through this coil, through this capacitor, to the M2 drive. So I think this is the protection for the M2 drive. Let's see the CPU, the corner was getting hot. Let's see, is it cracked or something? It doesn't look cracked, so maybe we are lucky. And the other chip was getting hot is this one, 54B21. What's the model of the other? 519CK. So this one is like a protection as well. I think this is the USB-C protection. You see we have an input, and this is the 5 volts outputting through the to the USB. So let's start by removing this chip. If it's a protection chip, if we remove it, the laptop should start. We're not going to have any image. Sorry, we're not going to have power to the USB port, but the laptop will start. Okay, so put a little solder on the wires, and now let's come with 370 degrees, and let's quickly remove this port, right? This chip. Okay, so the chip is out. Let's wait until the board cools. Okay, we need to cool the board now. Okay, let's wait a little bit while it's cooling. Now we don't even, let's put back the screen in case we are lucky. Do you think we are lucky? You think the problem is that? I mean, it could be, maybe the customer plugged in some dodgy USB connector or something, pen drive or whatever. This chip got shorted, but why is the CPU getting hot in that corner there? Still a bit warm. Let me check this. So it was this corner of the CPU. I mean, it looks fine, right? No cracks, not marks, no chips, nothing burned around here. Anyway, the board is now cold, right? So let's plug in the power connector. No explosion. Okay, let's press the power button, see if it's still taking 80 milliamps. Wait, 35, 330. Did we just fix it? 360, 200, it goes down. I think the BIOS battery is dead. Let's see. So if the BIOS battery is dead, yeah, this battery has 1 volt. If the BIOS battery is dead, then, well, let's see. Maybe if the BIOS battery is dead, then it needs to reload the BIOS into the EC chip. But whoa, it's working. Okay, but do we have a working USB? Okay, let's take a mouse. So we have this mouse in here, right? You see the mouse, yeah? So if I plug the mouse into this USB port in here, you see it comes on. Now, if we plug the mouse into the USB port that we remove the protection from, nothing, no voltage. Okay, now let's see what's going on. Okay, it's on now. Okay, let's see. So where is it? Here. Okay, so this is where we remove the chip from, right? Now let's see what is going on in here. So I think this is the input, and we have 5.1 volts in here. We have nothing in here. We have 1.7 in here. 1.7, weird. Voltage 1.7. Anyway, 1.7. We have nothing in here, and we have nothing in here. So we have to replace this chip, but we can test it or we can fix it without replacing the chip. Now you're not going to have this protection if you do that in there, so I recommend you fix it. Now with the battery disconnected, the power connector disconnected, all we have to do to test it or fix it, whatever, you have to bridge this input in here with this output in here. Basically you're bridging this port, so the 5 volts pass to the port. Now is it going to work? Now let's put a M2 drive in here. And then if it doesn't work, we're gonna check the protection from the M2 drive. And let's put the power connector in. Let's connect it. Okay, let's press the power button. 300 now. The bias battery is dead, so it needs to reboot again. It's gonna loop, it's gonna take a bit of time now. Let's see if it's loading the Windows. Meanwhile, let's see. The port looks fine, so I don't think the problem is with the port. So it's easy loading. We got Acer on the screen. Let's see if it's loading the Windows. Yeah, it's loading the Windows, so the protection from the M2 drive is fine. But because these protections are probably controlled by the CPU, now let's plug the mouse again in here. This is the port we fixed, right? So we plug the mouse in here, and now we have light, you see. But let's see if we get image, and if I move the mouse, you see, yeah, it's working. You see, it's working. You see, I'm moving the mouse. Check this out, and it's working. So we sort of fix it, okay? Now this M2 drive is not from this laptop, so it needs to install drivers. Let's give it a minute. Okay, let's plug in the mouse again so we can turn off the computer. Let's disconnect it because my connector is loose. Anyway, so now let's plug in the keyboard. Let's plug in the mouse. Let's plug in this. Speaker connector. Let's plug in this little cable. This is for the gyro sensor. Let's plug in the Wi-Fi card. Okay. Now let's put the shield. We want to test it, right? Then we're gonna take it apart again, change that. I need to order that protection, or I have to check some of the boards we have in here if I have that protection somewhere. Okay, so let's put this in as well. Put this in as well. Right, the battery is gone on there. Okay, now let's put a little bit of tape on this switch in here. This is the battery switch. Let me put the battery in. Now this switch, you can't see it, right? Now this switch in here is connected to the battery on the enable pin on the battery. Now check this out. If you want to check out something really cool. Now, if I plug in the power cable like this, you're not going to see the power supply, but I'm going to read you the values. So we have 10 milliamps. Now these 10 milliamps are taken by the EC chip. If I press the power button, it will come on, but it's not charging now, right? Why it's not charging? Because the battery is not enabled. Now, if I put the multimeter in voltage, let's see, what's the battery voltage now? 1.2 volt. Now this battery is marked 15.2, 17.2 fully charged. So 1 volt can be. Do we have any other voltages? Let's see. Pin number 3, nothing. 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 If I plug the power cable in, let's see if we have any communication. So plug in the power cable. We have, you see, now we have 12.5 volts, the power adapter, but now it's disconnected. Now go back to 3 volts. And it's going down. Yeah. So the EC chip is trying to charge, but because there is no communication between the battery and the EC chip, then the BQ chip is cutting the MOSFETs and that is stopping the charging. Now, let's see. So this is plus plus. The third one is 0 volts, 0 volts, 3.3, so and 3.3, and the other ones are ground. So we have communication on these two. This is 0 and this is. Now, check this out. In order to activate this battery, you have this switch in here. You see, you have two switches. This one, what actually does, you see, when it's all put together like this, you see you have a little hole in here. So what this does, when you press it, you actually press it on this switch in here. And what this switch is doing, this switch is like resetting the battery, like you remove the battery and you plug it back in. But this is 1 second, it's momentary switch, it's while you press it. When you remove it, it resets. Now you have the other switch in here, and this one, I don't know if you can see it, it's like a switch. You press on it and it goes down, up, down, up. Now when you put the cover on, you see you put the back cover on, you have this thing in here which is pressing on the button. So when you press on this button, it activates the battery. Now check this out. Now this pin in here, let's put it on BP mode. So we are in BP mode, right? Let's go back to normal zoom. Now if we beep the ground with this pin, nothing. The ground with this pin, you see, we have ground in here, but we don't have ground in here. But if I press the switch, check this out, you see, ground, you see. So this switch, what it does is passes the ground from here to here. Now where this connection goes, this goes from here to here. So what this does is closing the circuit, so the ground goes in here. When this pin in here is pulled down to the ground, is when the battery is charging. So now if I press this button, let's see, now it's charging 1.25 amps. So now it's charging fine. So if you have this laptop and you have it open like that, now it's not charging anymore. It's because you need to press that button. Anyway, let's simulate that button is pressed by putting a little bit of tape over it like this. We want the laptop on. So now it's charging fine. Now the battery is activated. So if I remove the power cable and check in here the voltage, okay, let's put it on voltage. Now the battery is 15.8 volts. If I plug it in, let's check it now. 15.8. Let's see when it starts charging. Now it's charging, so now it's going up. 5, 27, 28, 32, 33. So it's charging fine. Now let's turn it back on. We connect everything, right? Let's turn it back on. Why am I turning it on? All right. So now it's charging, right? Is starting. It takes a little bit of time, like we said, because the BIOS battery is dead. But if I turn it off now and I turn it back on, because we didn't disconnect the power cable and the main battery is connected in, it will start a lot faster now. You see? Anyway, you see it's still working on battery. I removed the power cable, it's still working on battery, so the battery is fine. But check this out. You see the battery? If I take this tape from here, where we put it on top of that button, here, it's gone. You see? It's disconnected. So we have to order that protection chip in here, or find it somewhere, and replace it, and this laptop is fixed. If you like the video, if you found it interesting, please give it a like, subscribe. If you want to comment something, please comment below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.